It is, in fact, a Saturday. I screwed up yesterday. I had so much stuff I was doing yesterday. Hey, the holidays are upon us. And by the way, I believe the winter solstice occurred this morning. So if nothing else, I have those holidays that are causing me to run out of time on stuff. But I didn't get a chance to shoot a video last night. And I knew what I was going to talk about, but I just hadn't done it yet. So I figured I'll sit down right now and do this. I had some funny little things happen, and they're kind of related. And I find this amusing on one level, because if I'm not amused by it, I'd find myself getting annoyed. So I figure, well, if I can tell these stories and they're entertaining to anybody, perhaps they'll entertain you, and then we can all come out ahead. So went into my bank this past Monday. On Monday, I went into my bank, and I had a check. I was depositing my check. And every time I go in there, they're trying to sell me stuff. And there's a couple tellers I know who I've said to them specifically, do not sell me stuff when I'm here. I don't want to buy anything. I don't need any of your new products or services. No. And I know they're kind of told they have to, but, the bank is small enough to where I know the manager on a first name basis. We say hello, Hey, Steve. Hey, Joe. How you doing? And, so I don't think they're going to get in trouble for not trying to sell me something. So I go into the bank on Monday. It's a different teller. I've never seen her before. At the end of the transaction, she's still holding the piece of paper she's about to give me. And she goes, have you bought a new car recently? Now, this is bothersome because I think she may have gathered that by glancing at my account and sees that I've paid electronically a lender, which is associated with my new Ford Explorer I bought a few months ago. But it's also possible that she's asking that randomly. So I didn't ask her if she knew anything that, I hadn't told her. I said, yes, I did. Why? And she goes, we can help you refinance and save you money. I don't think so. She goes, it's financed? Yes. And I said, yes. And she goes, okay, well, we offer refinancing, and normally our refinancing is 7%, but we'll knock that down as low as 4% if we need to beat your financing. What's your car, truck financed at? I said 2.9%. And she goes, oh, I can't beat that. I said, yeah, I know. Can I have my receipt now? She hands me the receipt, and she was probably going to try to sell me something else. But this same bank, a couple months ago, I was there, and again, a teller I'm not familiar with goes, excuse me, how many accounts do you have with us? And I go, checking accounts? She goes, yeah, I go, 2. I've got 2 checking accounts. She goes, I noticed you've got a decent amount of money in one of those accounts. I said, okay. She goes, if you were to take that account, split it in half, and open up a second account, she goes, we'll give you a bonus. I forgot what the bonus was, but they're going to give me a bonus of some sort. I go, why would I do that? And she goes, well, we have a promotion we're doing right now, and you'll get some free money. I go, but when the dust settles, I've got 2 accounts. Why would I need 2 identical accounts? And she was actually kind of like wondering, like, I guess nobody's ever asked her that before. And she kind of looked over, and another teller says, well, it's a promotion we're running. I said, but what's the benefit to me of having another checking account? Why would I need another one? And she goes, well, nah, never mind. But you'll recall that's what got Wells Fargo in trouble a few years ago. But they were doing it without customers' permission. But the point is, one of the metrics the bank measures is how many new accounts have you opened up. Think about how badly you're running your business. If you actually think it's an advantage to pay someone to split one bank account into 2, so you can say, we opened a new account today. They should actually say, if you open a new account, we'll pay you this much money, but obviously not for just taking your account and cutting it in half, because that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, that would cost the bank money, I would assume, to create the extra work of having another bank account to keep track of. I know it's not much, but the point is, what's the purpose? It's stupid. However, I digress. So I'm in the bank on Monday. The woman says, we can refinance your vehicle and save you money. No, you can't. So there you go. So a couple of days goes by, and one day I get an email. Now, the email's about my vehicle, but it's not what you think. I have an old Ford Explorer, 2002 Ford Explorer, and I've had it for some time now. And I lost a key fob, and I don't know where it is. It's out there someplace. And so I took my Ford Explorer into the nearest Ford dealer to where I live. and I bought a new key fob, a service department. And while I was there, I talked to the woman there a little bit. But I discovered that a good friend of mine actually works at the dealership now as a salesperson. And I didn't know that before. And I had a 2019 Ford Explorer that was up 60, 70,000 miles. I thought maybe it's time I should trade that in. So I'm going to trade that in. So about a month after I had the key fob made, I went in, called my friend up, said, what do you got in inventory? We found a car I liked, bought the car, went in, took care of everything. Yesterday, I get an email from the dealership. Hey, Steven. Nothing like starting an email off wrong. Hey, Steven. We thought it might be a good time for you to consider buying a new car. I wrote the guy back and go, dude, I just bought one from you. I bought one from you guys, just a couple months ago. Now, I know what happened there was that when I brought my vehicle in and it's an '02 Ford Explorer, somebody goes, hey, this knucklehead's driving a 22-year-old car. Maybe he needs a new car. But the thing is that I had two Ford Explorers, and the '02, I'm going to drive till the wheels fall off of it. And I might start pushing it then, just because I just appreciate that vehicle for how well it's run all these years. So they're like, hey, Steven, it's time for a new car. No, it's not. I just bought one from you. And I wrote the guy back and I said that, and he didn't respond at all. No response. So I'm baffled by this. I understand there's a marketing department someplace going through the records of people who came into service trying to sell them cars. But when I write back to the guy and say, hey, I just bought a car from you guys, he should have responded and said, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You know, wires got crossed someplace, something. But nothing, zero, nothing. So I'm sitting at my desk yesterday, and I'm on the phone, and I see my phone ring, and I got caller ID, can show me who's calling me while I'm on the phone. It's the name of my bank. And I can tell by the exchange, it's the local branch. The local branch of my bank is calling me. Now, I've never been called by them before. So my first thought is, there's a problem with one of my accounts. Somebody drained your account. Or did you know that there's money being withdrawn from your account in Afghanistan? Or hey, I actually have my mortgage with them. Hey, you haven't paid your house payment this month. Or, when you paid your house payment, you paid the wrong amount. All kinds of thoughts are going through my head as to why my local branch of my bank is calling me. So they leave a message. So I hang up my phone and I listen to the messages. Hey, Steve, this is so-and-so over at the bank. Please call. So I quickly call them back. And the woman answers, it's a direct line. And I go, yeah, this is Steve Lehto. You just called me. And she goes, did you buy a car recently? And I go, did you call me at my office during working hours to ask me if I bought a car recently? She goes, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was your office. Now, let me ask you a question. If you call a number and a very pleasant woman's voice comes on with a slight Canadian accent, and the voice says, you've reached the law office of Steve Lehto, and then continues to tell me more information. You've reached the law office of Steve Lehto. She actually said, I didn't know it was an office. I said, I was going to say, you understand that the voice on the phone said it was, but okay. I said, yeah, no, I'm at work right now. Why? What are you calling about? She said, well, did you buy a new car recently? And I said, yes. Why? Because they didn't finance it. And then all of a sudden I realized it's the same pitch I got on Monday from the teller. She goes, we can beat your interest rate. You can refinance through us. I said, no, I can't. No, you can't. And she goes, what rate did you get? I go, 2.9%. She goes, oh, yeah, we can't beat that. I go, so let me get this straight. I'm at my office right now. And I'm on the phone with a client. And you called my office and left a message and said, please call me. Here's my direct number at the local branch. I go, you understand that when I see your caller ID and I hear that message, I start thinking it's a problem with my mortgage, a problem with my checking account, problem with this, problem with that, all kinds of problems, okay? And you're calling me, trying to pitch me something that someone tried to pitch me on Monday when I was at the counter, and it's worthless, it's not going to help me any. And she goes, well, I didn't know I was calling you at your office. But that's not the point, really. I mean, that's part of the point. But and here's what really bothers me is this is a very, very large bank. But the only reason I'm with this bank is they used to have a branch in downtown Eau Claire, Michigan. And that's the bank where Wolfie and I would go for walks down to the bank to deposit, withdraw, whatever we do. And they would let me bring Wolfie into the lobby and they'd give him a milk bone for coming in. They treated him better than they treated me. And however, that was the predecessor bank. And that bank got swallowed up by a bigger bank. It's the only reason I'm with this bank now is because they bought the bank in Eau Claire that I banked at. And so, okay, there's a bank. They're swallowing up smaller banks. And they're trying to do everything they can to open up bank accounts and refinance people's automobiles. And neither of those are inherently bad. The problem I have is that they've got people doing nothing but jumping on the phones, calling people at work saying, have you bought a car recently? And if they've asked that question because they've gone through my banking records and seen that I make a monthly payment to an automaker's credit arm, that's a problem. I understand they're the bank. They keep the records, but they shouldn't be snooping through the records. And if they're legitimately just calling people at random saying, have you bought a car recently? That's a problem. They're calling people at work. Because, when I'm at work, I'm trying to actually work. And when she says, I didn't realize it was an office. What did you think it was when the kindly Canadian robot lady said, you've reached the law office of Steve Lehto? And I know there's people right now are going, Steve, you're overreacting to this. It was just the fact that this all happened this week. On Monday, after telling the people at the bank, don't try to sell me stuff, I got a woman trying to sell me something that's worthless. She wants me to refinance my car with them at a higher rate, which obviously would make no sense. Fine, we're not going to do that. Then I get the email saying, would you like to buy a car from us? From a dealer that just sold me a car, which, by the way, is the subject of the discussion at the teller's window. And then yesterday, I get the phone call, and I see the caller ID, and I assume it's important, and it's not. It's not. So that's the craziness. And like I said, I think some people are going to get this and go, yeah, Steve, I'm with you on this one. Other people are going to go, no, you're overreacting. But my point simply is that there's a bank, and there's people sitting in a conference room around a big table, huge table, a table larger than most people's offices, okay? This table had to be brought in and lowered by a Sikorsky sky crane before the roof was put on the building. That's how big the table is, okay? They're sitting around a table, they're smoking cigars, they got their feet up, and they're going, what can we do to expand our business? And somebody goes, open more bank accounts. Boom, you're a genius. Get right on that. What else can we do? We can refinance vehicles. Boom, get right on that. And then they order people at lower levels to do these things blindly. And they don't understand how annoying it is. Where I was this close to saying, hey, look, can I ask you a question? Honestly, did you hear the woman say you've reached the law office of Steve Lehto? Did you hear that? Because you have to say yes. Would you admit to me that a law office is a form of office? And if she was going to say, no, I didn't know what that meant, I was going to say, fine, I've got time to come in there and close all my accounts. I'll do that. Would you let me do that? Because I'm also bothered by people who do the old gaslighting thing, who pretend that, do you have something in your hand? No, I got nothing in my hand. Well, I can see something in your hand. What? There's nothing in my hand. Nothing in my hand. What are you talking about? No, your other hand. No, there's nothing in my hand. What are you talking about? That also bothers me. But as of right now, they've still got my business. but it's hanging by a thread. So if anything happens, that I'll let you know. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great holiday week approaching. Whatever holiday you may or may not celebrate. Like I said, high holy day for Sol Invictus, the cult of the unconquered sun, today. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.